And hello to all of my good people out there waiting for me to pop on with this regularly scheduled podcast all about solar energy at 6:30 in the evening on Thursdays. That's when I am here. I'm working on some new things, and hopefully relatively soon we'll be able to kind of shake things up and do things a little bit differently and keep you engaged in a really interesting way. Of course, I am your host, Robin Fafmi, and I'm here every week talking about solar energy because solar is my passion. I absolutely love solar energy. Most of you know that I am in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area. More specifically, I am in DeSoto, Texas, where I work in my backyard. That's what I like to call it. I'm working in my backyard. And my backyard consists of the surrounding cities, DeSoto, Lancaster, Cedar Hill, Glen Heights, Duncanville, Red Oak, or Villa. All of these small areas are relatively close to each other. And maybe they're not all small, but they're close enough to each other to keep me busy working with solar. My company that I started in 2021 is Solar Logix EDU, Solar Logix, LOGEXS EDU.com. And you know my story. Most of you know that when I got started in solar, I really believed that I was going to get out there and sell solar and, just big it up. But what I found was that I am a person who attracts people with problems. That's a part of my gift is I am a problem solver. I correct things that go wrong. And in the solar industry, there is a lot that is going wrong. So I kind of shifted my goals and shifted my purpose for being here to a little bit of a not a savior, of course, but just someone who helps people solve their problems. So what I do is I help homeowners equalize the buying experience when they want to switch to solar from their regular electric service. So when a homeowner is feeling the pain of paying electricity bills month after month after month after month, and those bills are high. Well, you might say, what is high? High could be 300, 400 in the summertime, consistently 4 months, 600, 800, $1,000 a month. It just depends on your household and what you're used to paying. So what I do is I help homeowners equalize the buying experience when they want to switch from electric service in the traditional way as we know it and produce energy or power themselves. By adding solar panels to your roof, then you become a power plant and you are now producing the energy that you use. And so once you produce enough energy for yourself, usually there is some left over. And what happens to that energy that is left over, you get to sell it back to the grid. And when you sell it back to the grid, if you have a one-to-one buyback, then they pay you the same amount that you pay for that energy, which means that now you're making money but it's not money in the traditional sense. Usually it's money in the form of a credit. And you get that credit and it rolls over month after month. And hopefully you get enough credit built up to where your bill is coming in at zero. And so you might ask, well, how do you do that? How do you help homeowners who want to switch to solar? How do you help them equalize that buying experience so that when they are sitting with a solar energy representative who's telling them all about solar, telling them about the federal tax credit that is now 30%. So you're going to get a reduction in the cost of your system of 30%. And what's going to happen with that money? What does that really mean? Or when they say to you that solar is free, how do you question whether or not it's really free? So the way I do this is through education. I help homeowners interpret information about solar energy so that you are as smart as the person who is actually sitting across from you at the table talking to you about solar. If they pose a benefit, whereas they may say solar is going to reduce your bill down to zero, and you believe that, but now that you have been in one of my workshops and you understand how this all works, you can ask them, well, how much are you offsetting my bill? Okay, they may say 78%, or they may say 100%. If having solar on your home is going to offset you by 100%, then more than likely you should be getting a bill that is at zero, or maybe not, because once you add solar, you now have to search for an electricity provider, that person who's going to, or that company who is going to send you your bill every month. You have to now search for a provider who is going to pay you enough for your production, your overproduction of energy, to where it makes it affordable. They Your bill does come in at zero. But let's just say if you're paying 20 cents per kilowatt, and the electricity company, the service provider that you have, if they're only paying you 3 cents for the energy that you send back, and yes, there are some companies that pay you 3 cents. Well, you know that if you're paying 20 cents for it and they're only paying you back at 3 cents, then you're not going to have enough credit, to cover your own energy costs. So these are things that you have to learn to understand and look out for. There are still service providers out there that do offer a one-to-one buyback, and that's what you want, a one-to-one buyback. So if you pay 20 cents for energy and they buy your overproduction back at 20 cents, that's the ballpark that you want to be in. So what I do, again, and really listen carefully, because you all who are listening to me now, I need you. I need you to spread this word. I need you to listen carefully to your family, to your friends, to your neighbors. And if you hear anybody talking about high electricity bills, or if you hear them talking about, I'm thinking about switching to solar, then put them in touch with me and let me help them to make sure that they understand enough about how solar works so that they don't get taken advantage of. And even you, I appreciate all of you who are here every Thursday with me, because you're learning, whether you have solar on your home or not, whether you have panels on your home or not. You are listening and you are learning and you are becoming a solar energy advocate right along with me. And I appreciate that. And if those of you who share information about me, Robin Fafmy. I am a solar energy education advocate. I help homeowners who want to transition from their regular, normal electricity service provider use as we know it to adding a customized solar panel system to their roof where they can be able to lower that electric bill every month and may even eliminate the bill because you're producing enough energy to take care of your own needs and to send energy back to the grid that you will get paid for. So even you, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you learning about solar. And I appreciate you for being an ambassador, a SolarLogix Energy and yep, that's the right word. You're an ambassador. Right along with me, you're advocating for the truth about solar. Now, this is really important because we're having some really strange weather. Storms are everywhere. For the last, I'm going to say 2 months, the weather patterns have been a little bit different, whereas we have had more cloudy days than normal this time of year. And what that means is that maybe it's not cloudy all day long, but maybe the morning starts out cloudy and it stays cloudy longer than usual, past 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and the sun is not really coming up until, or not coming up, it's already up, but the clouds move away around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And then we start to get that really bright sunshine. And that's the quality of sunshine that we need to produce energy when we have solar panels on our rooftops. Okay? Very important. So that's what I want you to understand today. I am Robin Fafmy. I am a solar energy education company and sales organization. My first priority is to help homeowners understand how solar energy works so that when you sit down with any company, whether it's me and my company or any solar company, and you're thinking about purchasing a solar panel system for your home, I want you to be educated enough to ask intelligent questions, to counter any information that salesperson may say so that you get the information that you need. Now, listen, here's one thing that you will hear. They will, when I say they, I mean the solar company, their sales representative, whoever is talking to you about solar. One of the things that they will really highlight is that 30% federal tax credit. And we have talked about this before. You all know the difference between a credit and a rebate, or even an incentive. Sometimes they will use the term, well, the government has a tax credit incentive. These are all words used to intrigue you, okay, to create interest in your mind about what's possible for you to gain immediately, the benefits that you can gain immediately. So it may sound as though there is a benefit of gaining money in your hands that you can use towards paying down your system. But go to the dictionary. What is a credit? A credit is something that is there for you to use when you need it if you owe money, or you've been given a credit and you can use it to shop. Okay. But in this case, when we talk about the federal tax credit, we're talking about 30% of your solar system cost. We're talking about having 30% of that total cost set aside as a credit for you to use. When do you get to use that credit? Well, at the end of the year, when it's time for you to file your taxes, you are going to take a form, and I think it's 5095. I'm not sure about the number, but there is a form that your tax preparer will use. When you let them know that you have solar, they will take this form. They will ask you, how much did you pay for your system? Or you will have your paperwork with you. And all they have to do is look at the itemized portions of the sale. It will say the total amount of the system, and it will also have listed the amount of the tax credit. Now, when your tax person sees that tax credit, then they know that it's there if you owe money. Okay? If you owe money at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, if you owe money, then that credit is there to take care of what you owe. It's a credit that you can pull from to take care of your tax liabilities. Please, if you don't learn anything else from me, get that. Get the fact that the tax credit usually is not money that you are going to get back in your hands. It's not cash money. It is a credit that is set aside to assist you with what you owe. Now, there are some cases where people will get money in their hands, but that is because maybe they are a W-2 worker and money comes out of their check every week, or however they get paid. Money comes out for taxes, okay? And at the end of the year, they have paid in a certain amount of funds, okay? And once you do your taxes, if you owe something, whatever you owe is going to be taken from the credit. And it's possible, quite possible, that you will have money left over. So if you've got a $19,000 credit and you owe, let's just say you owe 10,000, okay, then you're going to have $9,000 left for the next year. And it will keep going for, I believe, a minimum of 5 years. I would need to check that, but that is the first thing you need to know. The second thing that I would have you know is that solar is not free. These customized solar panel systems that are being attached to your roof, they're not free. A lot of times people will walk in your neighborhood, they'll knock on your door, and especially our senior citizens, especially if a senior comes to the door, then maybe they will shift their whole approach. The approach may now be, hi, my name is Robin. Did you know that the government is giving away free solar panels to senior citizens to help with your electricity bills? You know, if your electricity bills are really high, or if they're just too high for you. Now, what does that mean? Too high or too high for you? They're fishing now, trying to gain information. But the big deal is that, they asked the person, did you know that the government is giving away free solar panels to seniors? Okay, you don't have to pay for them. So What I need for you to do is just fill out this information, and then we'll come back and schedule a time to put the panels on your roof. And in your excitement, it's not costing you any money. It's free. I'm a senior citizen. The government is trying to help me. And so I believe it. I don't have anything else to go on, but I believe that. And since I believe it, maybe I signed my name, or maybe I didn't sign my name. I know of some situations where the homeowner has not signed their name. Okay. And so you got these fraudulent loans out there. But if you did sign your name because they told you that, it's going to be pretty hard to get out of that. So solar is not free. Usually, there is no out of pocket money. You don't have to pay anything up front. As long as you have what? A credit score that is at least 650 or higher, then you will be approved. And if you are approved, then they will go ahead with the process, and no money out of your pocket. And you probably won't have to even consider paying a bill for at least uh, 2 months, to the finance company. You won't have to pay a bill for a couple of months. And that will give you time to, have your energy switched to a company that you prefer, and have a month to cycle through, for your energy to cycle through. And then you begin producing. And once you begin producing, then we're off and running. That's how it works. But please, you all, solar is not free. There may be some incentives out there, but in my opinion, they are far and few between. Here's what I love. Here's what I love about you, about my listeners, those of you who are working with me and following with me on this solar journey. Here's what I love. You all are now understanding enough that when you get phone calls, or when you get text messages talking free solar or things of that, you are starting to send those texts to me at my phone number, 214-497-7440. I had 4 different people send me the same text message this week about solar. And so what I did, I already knew what it was. I knew it was just a lead generator. Usually when you get texts or emails about solar and they're talking to you about check your zip code to find out if you're going to get this solar for free or whatever, they're just looking for you to fill out your information so that it is distributed at that time to many different solar companies, and then you'll start receiving calls. Well, those 4 people who sent me that same text, the phone number was at the top. I dialed the number, and guess what happened? It was a busy signal. No, it didn't ring at all. Okay, so I could not talk to anybody because nobody answered it. It was just a number used to text information. They're doing these blasts out to many people because they're going to get 1, 2, 3, or 4 of you. Okay, so then when I couldn't get anybody, I decided to fill out the information. I filled out that information, and then as I put, because this particular text was specific to DeSoto, and it basically said that DeSoto was offering solar energy incentives. So I went to Google, and I Googled solar energy incentives in DeSoto, Texas. Okay. And so I didn't find any incentives that were being offered, but I did see different types of language about solar being offered. And one said that there was a grant being given to people who qualified. So I filled that one out. And when the person called me, she was all excited, bubbly, the way that they're trained to be. Robin, you filled out some information about solar, and you're in the zip code 75115. And I can have someone out there in the next day or so to talk to you about it. And my question to her was, ma'am, I clicked on the link because it read that there were solar energy grants being provided. Well, I can't tell you about the grants, but that's what we do. We'll set up an appointment, and one of our counselors will come out to your home and talk to you about solar and how solar can help you. And they'll tell you about any incentives or whatever. And my reply was, well, I clicked on the link because it mentioned that there was a grant available. So now you're telling me that there either is no grant available or you don't know anything about the grant. And she was like, well, I handle phone calls for 33 different states. So she doesn't know the specifics. All of these companies, they buy these ads, these lead generators. Some of them may or may not know what the ads are saying, but they're just trying to get you to schedule an appointment. So I'm like, well, no, there's no need to send anyone out to talk to me if you can't tell me if there's a grant associated. I don't need a person to come out and try to talk me into solar and then tell me there's no grant. Then about 30 minutes later, I got another call. And on that call, same thing, bubbly girl, talking all about solar, blank, 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 told her the same thing. Well, the reason I filled out this information is because it specifically said that there is a grant available for people going solar. Is that true? Well, we'll have our counselor come out and talk to you. I'm just here to schedule calls and blank, blank, blank. There are incentives that may be available in your area, but let's get our counselor out there. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Don't send anyone to my home if you cannot address the information that was in the ad that got me to click and got to you, and now you're calling to tell me to set up an appointment. If there's no grant, I don't care about it. I don't want anyone at my home. And then she finally admitted, ma'am, there are no grants. So that's what I'm saying. When you have enough knowledge to correctly interpret information about solar energy, then you know how to language your questions so that you can qualify them as they are qualifying you. Because usually these conversations are one-sided because they know everything and you don't know anything. What you know is that it's painful when you have to pay $800-900 a month for solar, even if you only have to pay that during the height of the heat season or the summer season or the height of the winter season. That means you could very well get at least 6 electricity bills during the year that are going to be higher than your average or higher than what you usually pay. So that's my goal, is to educate homeowners, to teach you how to correctly interpret information about solar, to equalize the buying experience, to equalize the conversation. Whether you're ready to buy or not, you may sit down with 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or more different solar energy companies to compare and to learn about what they are offering. Because let me tell you, they all may offer something different, but if you have that many comparisons that you're doing, the number of panels should be pretty much the same, in the presentation that they're going to show you. When they show you your home, the layout of your roof, it will have the panels laid out exactly the way they're going to be actually attached to your roof. And you should be able to see how many. So if you have set with, let's say 6 companies, and they each one presented you with that look of your roof, and they all have the same number of panels, then you can be pretty sure that they're all doing right by you. But then if one has 40 panels and then the other one has 28 panels and the other one may have 32 panels, you need to find out why. Now, it is possible that you could use less panels because those panels have a particular wattage and a particular amount of energy that each one produces. So if you've got 40 of them that are at a 400 watt, they're going to give you production that may be different than if you have 28 at a 480 watt. So, it may take less to produce the same amount of energy, but you need to be able to understand that difference and ask the question, or you just need to be able to know what to look for. Some of you may not even recognize, the difference in the number of panels that you need. That happened to me. I have 54 panels on my home, but there were a couple of other presentations that I saw where I needed less. They said I needed less, and their offset was more than I actually have. So I tell you all, I have learned more in 3 years about solar energy than I ever knew. And had I known what I know now, my system would be different, my cost would be different, and I would probably be producing a little more energy. But I didn't have anybody to educate me. There's a lot of information out there, but you have to go look for it, and you have to know what you are looking. It's just, you're just rambling through a lot of information and you really don't understand how to apply it. That's my job. My job. And I've set a goal for myself to educate 10,000 homeowners within the next year. So I'm on my way, and that's just something personal for me, because if I can help you all save money, and if I can help you to avoid a trap with the finance companies, because what we hear them say is the cost of our system is $40,000 or $30,000 or $20,000. Let's just say 30,000. But usually you're financing. Now you can finance for however many years you want to. You can finance for 5 years, 10 years, 12 years, 15 years, but most people finance these solar panel systems for 20 and 25 years. So when you're doing 20 and 25 years and your system costs $30,000 over that amount of time, the interest is going to run that cost up. And so instead of paying the cost of the panels, you're paying double that in interest. Sometimes you may be paying 2 times that. So if your system costs 30,000, then your total over 20 years or 25 years may be 90,000 or 100,000. So you see, by financing it, you are easily paying double the cost of the system. But the way that it's presented to you is that you are going to save on your electricity bill. That's true. Okay. Over 25 years, you know, if electricity goes up, your bill is going to stay pretty much the same. All of that is kind of true, but you're going to be paying double the cost with the interest. My advice to anybody, and even to myself now that I know what I know, instead of financing my system, I would have just simply taken 3 years or four and saved my money and paid cash for a system. Or some of you have good credit. Some of you have access to zero interest credit cards for a year or two or whatever. In those, when you have those kind of opportunities, that may be a possibility for you to put your system on a pay plan like that where you don't have the interest, and do it with the objective to pay it off, because when you pay off a solar panel system, then you're in heaven. Now, it's not to say that you won't ever have another electricity bill, because remember, the sun is the renewable commodity that makes it possible for us to even live in a world where solar energy is possible for us to use, okay, to become owners of an individual power plant. Our home becomes a power plant because we produce it and we send that energy back and we get paid for that. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share today. I wanted to say thank you to all of you, my ambassadors, all of you who are listening and learning, and all of you who are inserting yourself into conversations about solar energy. And please know that you can trust me to take care of your family and your friends and your neighbors if you refer them my way to learn more about solar. And also, if they were to purchase solar panels from me, as long and I have a way to contact you, I will send the referral fee to you. Okay. So that's it for today. I wanted you to just really get clear about who I am and what I do. I also want to let those of you who are in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, let you know that I am hosting a town hall meeting all about solar. It's everything we will talk about. Well, we can't do everything, but that's the idea. Everything that homeowners don't know about solar energy before you make the switch. Okay. So the town hall meeting is June 20th at the DeSoto Civic Center, 211 East Pleasant Run Road in the Bluebonnet Room. You can call me or text me at 214-497-7440 if you want to attend, because we do need you to register. There is an Eventbrite link that you will find on social media. From now until then, it will be showing up every day. So just kind of watch your feed for that. And that's it. I am happy and grateful to be in this space. Now I'm going to leave you with this. I know that, you're listening to me. You have an interest in solar. Maybe you listen to me because I have one of those faces that is, that the light just shines through. Or maybe you look at me and you listen to me and you go, wow, I wish I could do something like that. I want you to know that you can do anything you want to do, but you have to know what you want to do to be able to do that thing, whatever it is, and make a difference in your life and in the lives of others. People go on and on about finding your passion. You got to be passionate about that thing that you want to do. But what I know is a lot of people don't even know what their passion is. They don't know what their gifts are. And I want to invite you to take a look at those things that you do naturally. What is it that people say about you all the time that is the same thing? Everybody says, oh, you should have been a counselor, or you should be this, or you should be that. Well, you should take a look at those things, because that may just be where your gift really is. And if you're not passionate about it right now, that's okay. But coming soon, I will be doing another podcast, and it's about passion, how to find it, and I'm looking forward to that. But I want you to know that it's never too late. I'm talking to you. I don't know who you are, but I'm talking to you. It is never too late to do whatever it is that you want to do, to get up off the couch, get out of the bed, take a shower, put on some good smelling fragrance, and just go outside and sit in the sun. Okay? Whoever you are, it's not too late for you. Now, you can call me at 214-497 7440, 214-497-7440, and let me know that it's you that I'm talking to, because it's not by happen chance that I'm saying this, and I know that. So that's it for now. Get up, get fired up, and let's get ready to go. All righty. I will see you all next Thursday. Thank you again for being there. Bye.